Yan. Mayor, ayoko patulan to pero narinig ko kanina si Attorney Harry Roque talagang nagsalita at nagtanong din.
Hindi pa
Vlogger Maharlika in social media is masyadong sikat ngayon yung sinabi niya. May video daw siya na si BBM nag-ano ng Polvoron, yung isyong Polvoron, and ang nagbibigay daw si Justice Secretary at ang bumibili ay si First Lady. Pero this becomes an issue ngayon at kanina nagtanong si Harry Roque, narinig ko, what if ito ay totoong may video, what would happen to the country kung mapatunayan? Even yun, narinig din kita before, may sinabi ka regarding a leader na nagko-cocaine. I just don't know who it is, but right now may lumalabas po na ganyan.
Wala yan. Yan, video. Well, I can say that every hindi lang leader, lang leader dito, maraming mayor dito nagko-cocaine. There's no such thing. Kasi kung nandyan pa yan, matagal ang lumabas yan. Wala yan.
Okay. Yes, Anak.
Mayor, balikan ko na yung problema sa insurgency. During your term, ano ba talaga yung dahilan bakit na-stalemate yung negotiation?
Na?
During your term, bakit ano talaga yung dahilan bakit na-stalemate yung negotiation ng NDF panel sa yung government panel? Na-stalemate.
Well, until now, it's still the same. It has always been the same. Ang tingin ko dito, ang wala talagang, I cannot doubt the sincerity of government because you remember, I was with government. Hindi ko mas ano ako mas yung hindi sincere yung kabila. To really sit down and work on it. What we want to happen to this country.
So may big possibility na kung sakali mabuksan itong peace domain after sa exploratory talk, ganun pa rin yung mangyari. Because they're not serious.
I don't know. I hope that it would be a change for the better. At least a better part of the talks would succeed to make way for the succeeding ones to prosper.
Last na lang, Mayor, magastos ba talaga itong peace talk? Billion daw yung gagastusin.
Awang ko, hindi ko talaga maano ito. Until now, litong-lito rin ako dyan eh. Mas mabuti siguro kung mag-umpisa muna tayo dito sa civil society and the responsible civil society that are not attuned with the communists. Huwag yung mga progressive. Yung ayaw ng komunista, ayaw ng pamuraan nila. Tapos, usap yun. Rather than government diretso. Hindi mo kaintindihan. Preliminary muna dito sa baba.
Naging successful yung EO-70 mo noon. At pagdating ni rapporteur dito, UN rapporteur, gusto niyang ipa-abolish.
Sino ba? Ano ba yung 17?
Rapporteur
Ano yung 17 na sinasabi mo?
Yung executive number 17 ni President noon.
Ano yun?
What is it?
Sa ano nga yun?
All of the nation approach.
All nation approach mo noon. regarding dito sa mga nagsusurrender ng mga NPAs. At sinusuportahan naman ng NTF-ELCAC. At pagdating nitong si UN Rapporteur, ay yan talaga yung una niyang sinasabi na ipa-abolish or buwagin.
Bakit daw?
Diba? Sino? May nagsabi sino sa kanya.
Hinampas mo siguro ang
Okay.
UN Rapporteur has no business talking about the internal affairs of our country.
Can you give the microphone to the top gun at your back?
May gabi, Mayor.
Oy, may gabi eh.
May gabi. Mayor, mangutan na lang ko, binisayon na ako para klaro.
Mas klaro.
Kung niaging adlaw, or last week ata, nagpahigayon og rally ang imuhang mga supporters dito sa Metro Manila.
Nabuang. Sir, Ibo.
Nag-rally ba ito sila, Mayor, kay gisuportahan nila yung panawagan sa mga congressman to open the book. Gani na yung mga pipila mga taga Davao nga naa dito, and isa sa mga supporter nimo si Elizabeth Oropesa mo pay kauban dito. Are you aware of it? Kabalo ba ka ani?
Si Kinsas eh.
Sila Elizabeth Oropesa and some Davaoenos are there. Caught on a video.
Were there attending the rally?
Yeah, nagrally sila dito in support sa panawagan nimo sa Congress to open the book. Usay aware ba ka ani, nakabalo ka?
Wala. I read the newspapers every day. I have copies of about 3 or 4 dailies. Wala mo ko yun na napasahan.
Ang nag-cover ata is MNI eh. And naa sila dito. I think one of it si Sir Ulamit, nakita na po sa kwan eh, sa video. Wearing Pprrd t-shirt. Mao na nga, I just want to know kung nakapalo ba ka ani sa gibuhat sa mga supporters nimo dito sa Metro Manila.
Wala ko gibaw. Wa po sila ngayon permiso sa ako. Kung ngayon po sila permiso sa ako, whatever you believe in, go ahead. Wag mo na akong pakialaman. My sentiments or my views are no longer relevant. If
So-
at all, it would be in a guise of an advice.
So if ever, Mayor, magpadayon ni sila nga aktibidad sa mga tigsuporta nimo, unsay panawagan nimo sa ilaha?
Nga
Halimbawa, magpadayon sila sa mga activity nila nga mag-rally in support of your panawagan po sa una nga katong i-open the book sa Kongreso, katong auditing and everything, o unsay masulti nimo sa ilaha?
well, in the sense that it is a legitimate demand. It's a legal demand. Di mo na mapunggan. With or without my word or blessing, it is always the right of every citizen. Each one of us has that right to demand an accounting of the money of our money, the people, to the last centavo. Di mo pigilan niya. And I would be the last to stop them. Because it's their constitutional right anyway. Because it's their money. Sila yung may-ari ng pera eh.
Okay, anyone else? Let me,
Light question.
go ahead, Carol.
Very light question. What do you do Mondays to Sundays to Monday to Sunday to Saturday
Monday to Saturday.
as a retired politician?
Monday to Saturday I die. On Sunday I resurrect.
No, I mean, You just said that you still read the newspapers, 3 to 4 newspapers.
Ano babasa ako?
Okay.
Tama.
Do you still read books?
3 or 4 dailies. Manila Times.
Ano pa ho? Ang binabasa ninyo?
Yung gulo mo, hindi ko naman makita kung saan ang yawa.
Hindi po. Anong newspapers ang binabasa ninyo po?
Manila Times, Tribune,
Edit regs.
Ay, okay lang na. Okay lang na.
may papalit-palit yung iba. Minsan na mayroong
Philstar,
Star?
Philippine Star,
Inquirer.
Papalit na. Pero apat yun.
Yeah. You watch Netflix?
Netflix.
So what do you do
Ah,
after you've read the newspapers?
nagbabasa ako karon.
You still read books? Have you read Pat Evangelista's book?
Hindi pa.
Or the other books on Duterte?
No, not yet.
Marami na yun. And then what else po? Aside from reading books and newspapers. You're not into Netflix. Are you into...
Ano ako, hindi masyado ako sa fiction. Make believe kasi hindi ako masyado sa non-fiction ako.
with the apostle. Very good.
And your apostolate?
Apostle.
Is that a Sunday routine
Yeah.
with the grandchildren?
Yes, but on Sundays I go to mass
Okay.
three times. One in the morning, noontime mass, and in the evening. I am a very holy man. I'm whole. I'm a whole human being now.
Okay, guys, with your permission, I would like to raise some questions, Mr.
Yes, sir.
President. Yeah. I wonder why. Let me proceed from where the two edits came from, Edith Regalado and Edith Caruana. They're talking about the so-called destabilization talks in Davao. Why, of all places, in Davao, when the rambling among the generals, retired and maybe active and men and women in the AFP, actually is starting in Manila.
Wala, strongest. The sentiment is strongest in Manila, not here. The sentiment. So, kaya nga, bakit dito sa Davao? I mean, if you would chance the question, for example, Davao, wala dito. Anak ko, I've grown tired of it actually. Ayoko na ng gulo ko. Let us just follow the Constitution. Otherwise, sabi ko sa inyo, wala na itong one or two or more will lead to a very unstable future for our children. Wala nang ginawa to kasi kung may isang military dyan, o mga pulis, maano sila, ma-disappoint, ma-disenchanted, basta gusto nila Jesus Maria Josep, mas marunong. Let the people decide. Kaya nga may eleksyon eh.
On another issue, Mayor President, let me take you to the nagging issue about the relationship between China and the Philippines. It has soured up because of the position taken by President Rodrigo Marcos. By the time he sat as president, he flew to the US not only to announce to the American public that, look guys, Marcos is back in power, but also to plead to Biden to, help the country progress in terms of, more investments from the US coming to the Philippines. But because of the issue of bases, additional military bases in the country, indeed there were businessmen who want to invest in the Philippines, but when they flew here, when they left the US, they skipped the Philippines and proceeded to Vietnam.
To invest there, not in the Philippines.
Yes.
Alam mo, from the looks of it, actually, Vietnam is more palatable. Vietnam is more stable nowadays than the Philippines. Sa tingin nila. Second is ang Philippines kasi is corruption. Pag umpisa pa lang nila sa itaas, doon pa lang sa entry point nila, doon pa lang sa immigration, taga na. Pagdating nila doon sa mga offices where they intend to do business and at whose department they are supposed to go there, under which the business business interest falls within that ambit of the jurisdiction. Grabe na ang corruption. So wala masyadong takers ang except for the huge multinationals kasi hindi nila magalaw eh. Pero yung maliliit na lang yung struggling corporations in the itong sa trade lang, wala masyadong pumapasok because one is corruption and the other is the instability of not that the itong national but in the countryside. You want to go to lands, mga plantation, alam mo ang come-on natin dito, wala tayong iba eh. It's agriculture, lupa. Ang Pilipinas, lupa. So sa agriculture, but medyo unstable ang countryside natin. It's there in Mindanao, there's the insurgency problem with this it is like an off and on thing. So also with the communist, hindi pa talaga natin. So hardly no takers except the big corporations. But the big corporations can only survive if they have an equity na tabla-tabla. Para siguro 60-40%, 40% Filipino, 60% sa kanila. Pero kung sabihin mo na alangin ang contribution ng kapital, hirapan.
On the other hand, Mayor, because of your foreign policy, especially in dealing with China via bilateral talks, China has poured in a lot of investments in the country. In fact, it is number one number one in terms of investment, and number one in terms of trade. It runs to 1.7 trillion of pesos in investment compared to the US, for example. This is about what? 100 or 200 million, 200 billion dollars.
Alam mo, I'm in a wonderment why until now we are so enamored with the dollar, quote unquote. Wala na yan eh. And wala na tayong nakukuha sa Amerika. Sila yung merong nakukuha sa atin. And that is really that before their country can be destroyed, yung kanilang detachment dito sa Far East would be yung Republic of the Philippines is the detachment or outpost of America. Yun nga, hanggang ngayon hindi pa na akala ko kasi na natuto na itong mga Pilipino. Dili pa sa Amerikano. Ano man? Sus, parisip. Wala ka tayong makuha dyan sa Amerikano. What? Wala. Di mabuti pa ang China nagbigay pa ng mga trabaho sa atin. Korea, Japan, Amerika. Ang ina. Diyan pa lang sa immigration, pasin ka ng anong ginagawa mo dito? What are you doing here? Go home. Sabihin pa sa Amerikano sa iyo, if you do not have a million pesos or dollars to spend here, go home. We do not need your presence here. Kaya, bakit hanggang enamored pa sa Pilipinas yung
Okay? Would you want the gift giving already?
sige, one last, two last, three last.
Okay, yes. Can you use the microphone, please?
Reaction niyo sa UN military
Pakapin.
exercise na Philippines?
Okay, pakingan mo nga.
Okay.
Mahina na talaga ang tainga ko.
Comment lang nimo, Mayor, sa joint military exercises sa Pilipinas o Amerika. According to China, i-provocative act sa part sa Pilipinas.
What do you mean? Is there a need for it, or is it still useful?
Yes, sir.
I don't think I don't think there's a need for it anymore. Wala naman tayo ano nila. It's to their protection, to their advantage, and nothing else. Wala lang tayo, beachhead lang tayo dito. Na bago sila maka-cross going to Guam, before they can cross the Pacific Ocean, reaching Guam, which is really the Marianas Island, the trust territories of the America. Bago sila tayo magdating doon yung kalaban, magdaan muna dito. And the Philippines is a huge one base, air base, naval base nila dito. Though not really grounded on soil, but they dock, they patrol, they get their rations here. They operate within the comfort zone of the Philippine territory. Wala naman tayong makuha dyan. I do not see any... I do not need America anymore. Maybe noon. But now, no more. Ano man? Ito na lang. Magpunta ka lang sa Maynila kung may pamasahe ka. Pumunta ka ng embassy ng Amerika. Magpagawa ka ng appointment. Pagdating mong appointment day mo, maghingi ka ng visa. Tignan mo kung makakuha ka ng visa. Pero Amerikano, anytime. Basta puti. Sikat yan.